and so to issue 304. And there you can see 2007 to 2015. This year it'll be coming up for 8 years. I've been doing this. However, this week it's a bit of a corker to read. It's a bit cumbersome to try and explain. Daisy's birthday is the 17th of January. I noticed that the date of the Saturdays in January 2015, the 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th and 31st add up to 85, which is a multiple of 17. And the day before Daisy's birthday is a Friday, 16th, and the Fridays of January 2015 sum to 80, which is a multiple of 16. Whoa! The day before that is Thursday, the 15th. The Thursdays of January 2015 sum to 75, which is a multiple of 15. And, this is getting ridiculous, preceding that is a Wednesday, the 14th. The Wednesdays of January 2015 sum to 70, which is a multiple of 14. So January 2015 will have 4 days in a row with this property. That is, consecutive days where all the days in the month sum to a multiple of that date. Can you find the next time this will happen? And can you find a time when this will be beaten? Well, dates in a month. Dates in a month all follow a pattern of 7s. If I just put down a generic month, there'll be no particular order of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday or whatever here. Just start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'll put 7 back down here. And then you carry on. But for now, what are the totals of these? Now that calendar could apply to any month at all. Just take off any dates that don't apply. Just put the appropriate day there. That could be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and so on. No matter what the days are, you'll always have these rows, because the date in a month will always be of the form of, I'll put it down this way, it'll be 7n plus r. It'll be a multiple of 7 plus some number. And you can see here that r, it can only go up to a 6, otherwise you go into the next week. And for this purpose, I might just invent a day 0, a fictitious day 0, just so I can use this formula completely. So what I've got is, r is a number from 0 to 6, because that'll be the result mod 7. And the formula for the date can't exceed 31. That's the maximum number of days in a month, which means straight away, independently of what r is, n can't be greater than 4, because 7 5s are 35. So that means n has to be less than or equal to 4. And for n equal to 4, which is its biggest number, that's 28, that only leaves 3 for r. So for n equals 4, r has to be less than or equal to 3. We'll need that later. But what have we got in this pattern? Just totaling these months then. Sorry, totaling these days. Well, this one comes to 70, this comes to 75, this comes to 80, this comes to 85, this drops down to 58, this one's 62 and this one's 66. So consecutive days when the total for that day, the month's total for that day is a multiple of one of the dates. Well, 70 is a multiple of 7. It's also a multiple of 14, but none of the rest. 75 is a multiple of 15. I suppose you could also count the 1 if you wanted. 80 is a multiple of 16. You could also count the 2. 85 is a multiple of 17, but that's all. 58, none of these divide into 58. 62, none of these divide into 62. And 66, I've only got this one. So there's a run of 4 consecutive days. Now that's your generic month. So if it's a 31-day month, I can get 4 days in a row. You get these other little consecutive days, 1 and 2 and 6 and 7. If it wasn't a 31-day month, if it was a 30-day month, I'd have to take 31 off of that, and that would knock me down to 54, which means that that's no longer a multiple of this one, although adds up to 9. This one will pop back in. So if it was a 30-day month, I would only have 3 days in a row, but I'd have 2 sets of those, 1, 2, 3, and 14, 15, 16. And if I go down into February, then the situation gets worse. So the answer to the question is, when will it happen next? it'll happen in the next 31-day month. So that would be March. Can it ever do better than 14, 15, 16 and 17? Can it ever do better than 4 in a row? No, because the next date, 18, doesn't divide in, and the previous one, 13, doesn't divide in. Now, is there any other way of showing that apart from, if you like, a picture? Is there anything I can set down? Well, I could say this. The total for any particular day, that is the total for any value of r. So if r is 0, that means the total of this column. If r is 1, the total of that column. The total for any value of r would be sigma, and the date is 7n plus r, where n goes from 0 to, depending on the part. Now, there's two cases for r. If r is less than or equal to 3, then n can go up to 4. And if that's the case, the total would be, there's going to be 5 terms then, 1 for n equals 0, n equals 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it'll be 7 nothing, 7 1, 7 2, so I'll put that down. So nothing plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus, and for each of them there was an r, so plus 5r. That's 10, that's 70 plus 5r. The total would be this. Is that a multiple of any particular day? Well, let's try that. Is the total a multiple of the day in any particular date in each month? Well, if these two expressions are meant to be the same, and this side divides by 5, then this side must divide by 5. If those numbers don't divide by 5, then k must divide by 5. So what that says straight away is k is a multiple of 5. But to have a run of days, if you're looking for consecutive days, that means that you want to be independent of r, so that r could take any value for it to be consecutive. For it to be independent of r, that means that k would have to be the 5. So k is 5, which means I've got this then. I've got 70 plus 5r equals, and if k is 5, I've got 35n plus 5r, independent of r, and that applies when n equals 2. So this says the days. So the days when n is 2, and for r less than or equal to 3, are consecutive. And those dates are 14, 7 twos, and then plus 0. So 14, 15, 16 and 17th of, you'll only get up to 3, you'll only get r equal to 3, you'll only get all 4 days in a 31-day month. Of 31-day months. What about the other case? What about r greater than 4? Well, in that case, the total for any particular column, for any particular value of r, would be sigma, but this time if r is greater than 4, n can only go up to 3, so 0 to 3 of 7n plus r. So 0 to 3 adds up to 6, 7 sixes, that would be 42, and there's only 4 terms plus 4r. Is that a multiple of any particular or a run of days? If it's to be a run of days, I need it to be independent of r. But first of all, this side divides by 2, they don't divide by 2, k would have to be a multiple of 2. So 2, 4, 6 and so on. But to be independent of r, to get a run of days, independent of r for a run, so no matter what r is, the days will all work. That means I'll have to take k equal to, because I want the 4r to cancel out that, k would equal 4. So that means I've got this. I've got 42 plus 4r equals, and if k is 4, that'll be 28n plus 4r. And of course, there's no solution for that. There's no solution where n has to be a whole number. So that means there's no consecutive days, or no complete run of consecutive days. I had that there anyway. None of them worked. There's still a loose end, because 14, 15, 16, 17 could tie onto an 18 or a 13. Try the 13th. Now the 13th means that n would be 1 and r would be 6. r equals 6 was the total where you had 42 plus 4r for the total. So that would be 42 and 24 is 66. I know you can see it there. And 66 is not some multiple of 13, so that'll never be consecutive. What about the other possibility, 18? Well, for 18, n is 2, that's 14, and r is 4. So the total for that month should be 42 plus 4 times 4. So that's 16 onto that is 58, you knew that there anyway. And 58 is not a multiple of 18. So that means, indeed, the maximum run is 4 days. Where those days are the 14th, the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th of a 31-day month. Wake up now and switch off.